normally if you pick up the Eve, you already have revealed your hand when it comes to your mid lane because it's almost automatic. Maybe about 95% that you will put it in the mid lane role or the position 4 role. So maybe that's the reason why NXP did not pick it up at first. I'm not saying that it's already done and out. I'm not entirely sure how the how Renegade plays the Matilda, if that's the case. So maybe that's the reason they ban it out themselves.
Which
We see it.
for.
But you know, Black, just a random thought right now for NXPE. Like, since Kevier is like getting all of these assassin bans, it essentially opens up a lot of stuff for Oheb and Haji and even Edward to play.
Yeah.
So I would say that there's a reason why we're seeing a lot of assassin bans for the side of NXPE. And Blacklist International right now, this Aldous is surely to go to the jungle, right?
Yeah, more likely than not. Here's what's interesting, right? Nexplay EVOS, they ban out the Eve, but looking at Blacklist, maybe, most likely, that's the Cho and your Rafaela in mid. So something is up. Something is up. They're reading into this Cho. This might be a different take.
Yeah, because we saw Oheb pick it up as well for Blacklist International
Last week.
That's that definitely. So maybe they are considering that it could be the counter to the Matrix. But now Blacklist International, they have banned out the Ruby, thinking that this Matilda will now be picked up in the position 4 role for El Piso. Now they add up the Shinchin ban.
I'm the priestess of primal
They
light.
Your team
The
is
hunter of
Edith.
all the evil gods.
It's pretty smart. The Yisun Shin ban is pretty smart for the side of Blacklist International. You don't want to give H2O anything that he's comfortable with. And H2O on this time around could definitely go for the Karina. It's still open. One of the more powerful junglers to current meta. I don't know if you guys would agree. The jungle emblem is best suited on that Karina.
I love it.
I love it, yeah. Now, Uranus was the answer for Blacklist International in game number 1 against this Glue. But we don't know if the Glue or the Edith will be played in the XP lane role. Both of them viable in that case. Now, for Blacklist International, what will be their gold laner? They picked up the Kimi earlier on, but they don't have the necessary... it still is good with Rafaela, but maybe with the protection of the Cho as well, it could be viable. And there it is, like the Alice.
So,
Okay.
now suddenly, Blacklist is so honest. I mean, they needed to close up their draft, right?
Yeah.
So this confirms Haji on the Cho, Rafaela on Dexstar, and then the rest follow. Interesting. They've completely turned into a dive comp.
Yeah, and wow, Pakiro was picked up in last picked. But with XP and Blacklist.
I'm a little worried for Oheb here. And NXP's pattern for their rotations in Game 1 and Game 2 has always been to pressure the gold lane. And when it's pre-level 4, the Alice doesn't really do much.
I wonder how, actually, if you're looking at all the heroes of NXP EVOS in the early stages of the game, you already said that their laning stage will not be that good. And imagine this, even in the early stage, out of the post-laning stage, you have Matilda and Beatrix. Guaranteed stun from the Matilda. You have the combo with the suplex coming out from Edith from that onward. And then Glue with a lot of peeling. There's a lot of control onto Oheb. This is a legendary Alice for sure.
Of course.
Yes.
But against a lot of guaranteed stuns, it really is scary. I agree with you, Womi.
Yeah, the Circling Eagle plus the suplex, it's just like the Franco game, except it's a cute little girl in a mecha suit.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
And they didn't change. I mean, the heroes changed, but the strategy and the approach is relatively there. But also, I love how Blacklist is adjusting on the fly. You gave Edward another comfort pick. He gets the Uranus one more time here. And we'll see how they adjust. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to go into game number 3, the clencher. We are concluding this best of 3 on this map right here. Welcome to the Land of Dawn. Blacklist International versus Nexplay EVOS. Let's look at laning configurations because Blacklist, they're known for the switch. Did they go for it now? No, it's as we expected.
But it's a mid lane show for Haji. And we have seen a mid lane show, just not from Haji, I feel like in M3. It was more on Hatred's side, but surely Haji could pull it off.
Yeah. One of the main proponents of it as well. As the main idea is to fast clear the wave and then you transition into the jungle. But I would assume that against both Edith and Matilda, it's very hard to like contest H2's farming. Look at how they were able to defend that. So I think that for both Blacklist International, when it comes to like the strength of their junglers, H2 will have a great time. And now we are gonna see Killing Spree on a Paquito, and it will be aggressive because H2 plays it aggressively. Now for Kempier, now this is a lot. This is where the question marks do appear. Jungle Emblem on this Alus.
Demon Slayer, right?
Yeah.
One thing I may say that's amazing is he started with purple, and then he ended up in the small camp down bottom,
Yeah.
and now he's in orange. So he's always a step ahead of Paquito, always a step ahead of H2. But is it worth it at that point, you know?
Yeah. Well, definitely. We'll see later on. I like the stalemate here in the bottom lane, this Uranus and the Glue. I think the only reason why either of them will die is that if they make a mistake or if they are getting ganked. But I honestly, even then you think if you're the mid lane duo of both NXP and Blacklist, it's not worth it to spend so much time in that bottom lane.
And we saw that in full play in game number 2. There's not a lot of resources you want to burn in that XP lane, especially against these two. We're talking about Edward. We're talking about Sagitlu. They're just there to put in the chaos in team fights.
I thought you were just saying they're just there.
They're just there.
They're just there.
They're sustain heroes. They're just there. But top lane though, it's Oheb and Dexstar putting the pressure onto Donut, who's played Beatrix all throughout the series.
It's 3 Beatrix games, currently a 50% win rate, and Nexstar is babying the Alice until level 4. This is the win condition.
Captain Haji from the flank, getting that knock-up and the full-on combo, the Ode and the Awe, taking him down but off camera. There's the turtle take. Onto Haji.
Ooh, what a shoot goal.
He's clear out of the woods here. El Piso fails to punish.
I love that decision making coming in from Dexstar. Tanked some turret shots to make sure that his teammates were safe in that dive. Now NXPE, this is the first time in this series that we're seeing that they're losing the early game a little bit in terms of rotations. And this is mainly because of Haji's doing, but they want to strike back. Edward immediately popping that consecration.
Maybe game number 1 was just a download game from Blacklist International. All they had to do was to survive game number 2. And now NXP EVOS ended up doing the same thing with their mid lane rotations, but with different pieces. And it's not working as hard as previous games. Yet, we have to be patient here for NXP EVOS. When the mid game does happen, that's where the NXP EVOS magic begins. And I wonder if they are prepared enough to counteract this decision from Blacklist International to put Dexstar on a babysitting role against with Oheb.
Yeah. Most of the time we see Rafaelas rotate with their teammates, but as I said, as we talked about earlier, the Alice really needs a lot of protection in the early game, and they're doing that. Blacklist International full and complete trust in Oheb to carry this game.
Huge rotation from Nexplay EVOS, sending up 4 in the top lane, leaving Mr. Subang down bottom to go against Mr. Dapadap. And H2, he's already stealing away these small camps from the Aulus, pushing out the Demon Slayer Aulus out of its comfort zone. Might even threaten the purple here.
Yeah. And he actually pulls out the ultimate to make sure. And now they're going to... It's mine. I'm marking my territory with this one. And it works. Whatever works. You want that farm in the early game. But looks like Oheb and Dexstar might be in trouble here.
3-man rotation. El Piso starting it up. There's the Holy Baptism. Stopping Renegade in his tracks.
Baptized.
Doesn't get anything.
Yeah. And now the turtle will be started by NXPE.
So I like the decision from NXP to go to the top lane, and then when they forced the flicker already, they decided to go for the turtle. But even better is the Blacklist macro game. Look at Uranus in the bottom lane already just cutting the waves.
Huge cut.
Yeah, a huge cut coming out from Edward himself, and then Kempier will try to go for the defense, for the turret push, but Donut already defending.
Yep, and as the Filipino broadcast would call it, it's the German cut for the Uranus here. But it is still a 2v1, and Edward at this point very tanky on this Uranus, even if it's just still, I think, 2 items at this point, not even 2 items.
Yeah, it's just the Enchanted Talisman. I think I would assume, because normally at 5 minutes you only get 1 item, but I think his management of the hero is just
Circling Eagle onto Edward underneath, weighing down. Haji with the Way of the Dragon. Renegade still alive, but not gonna survive for
wait
long.
a minute!
Oh, he gets pulled down by El Piso with the guiding winds, and in comes Donut. He smells blood, looking for a finish. Down goes Dexstar. Haji, can he survive? El Piso trying to dash in off camera. He eventually gets his man, and he's still alive. Donut, he's a little too deep. Circling Eagle again. And a suplex by Renegade. Edward goes down. Huge win by Nexplay EVOS.
Clutch guiding wind coming in from El Piso to save Renegade just when he popped a Primal Wrath. And he got back those life points by Spell Vamp. And we know with that max Wrath, that Edith is such a lethal hero. The damage, the lifesteal, the attack speed, everything about it is just too real.
Also, I'm guessing it's Brave Smite, man.
Yeah.
In the play. Oh, but here comes one more time. Renegade with the suplex. Haji looking low, but he does get a Way of the Dragon onto H2, but not before he gets a knockout. And he's still alive! Kevir falls as well! Dexter, he gets a grab. Sagitnu knocks out the Rafaela. 3 for none. One more time. Tier 1 in mid goes. Blacklist.
What is happening?
What is happening indeed, I think. So, I would say the previous clash before that clash was because of El Piso, and he's really welcomed into the league as his first season. In fact, his first series. Playing all Matilda in the first 3 games of his career. And he was not too shy about admitting that his idol was actually Oh My Venus, and he got a lot of his moves from LP Oh My Venus. And Oh My Venus actually gave a nod to El Piso on how good he is.
And this must be an honor of the highest form, right? That you're showing your opponent or the team that your idol was once part of, your opponent, the game of your life.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like Kobe trying the Jordan moves, and now El Piso.
Oh, Edward, can he survive? Oh, not enough damage between these 3. Sagitnu, El Piso. Nope, not like that. There is going to be a push by Kevir off camera. Bottom lane, tier 2 goes down for Nexplay EVOS, but Donut says Touche, takes the top lane in exchange. Look at the items.
Yeah. So you still have a lot of farm on OHEB, for sure. But the real problem of having the Alice, and if you don't know, guys, when the Alice was picked up, I kind of looked at the Omi and looked distraught, and I understand why. Because Alice, as good as it is for OHEB in MPL Season 7, a lot of the meta game affected the win rate of the Alice, particularly because if you compare it to the other gold laner, which is in this case the Beatrix, which is a marksman, when you already win your lane, you can actually push and you can participate into the team fights. Unfortunately for Alice, if he gets out of that lane will be pushed back, and he cannot participate into pushes himself. And now OHEB, as good as he is, and Dexter already made a lot of babysitting for this gold laner, there's a lot of difference when it comes to the overall impact that the Beatrix can have.
There's one thing that I'm waiting for this Alice, the redemption that he could pull off if ever they win a Lord fight because of the sheer power of Alice in the Lord pit. That might just be the winning play for Blacklist International, but the Lord take from NXPE is extremely safe, mainly because of all the tools that they have to just make sure that they have proper control over that area, so they might not even go for the contest. So Blacklist International, they're stuck in between two things here, like either defending or contesting.
A rock and a hard place.
A rock and a hard place.
Yep, and speaking of a hard place, they are just pummeling on Lord so quickly. Blink and you'll miss it. 9-minute Lord, the possibly earliest you can go for, and that's the Undying Fury set in by Kevir, and he's going to have to concede his own purple. They're going for the choke.
This is extremely hard for Blacklist International, but they were in the same situation in game number 2. But in game number 2 is more of an error coming in from Nexplay EVOS that actually gave them that win. Yeah. But proper defense as well from them for the first 3 times that NXPE pushed. But now Blacklist International down by 5,000, by 6,000 gold rather.
Huge.
It's only up to OHEB to be able to secure a lot of background damage, but even then, it's going to be extremely hard to get that Beatrix.
Successful defense though. Lord managed to be taken down by Blacklist before even popping that blast on the inhibitor. So again, shades of game number 2, Blacklist defending. Swap.
Might be another 20-minute game if they're able to secure more defenses like this one. But whatever works. If Blacklist International loves the late game in this series for them to win, NXP on the other hand, they want to end this early. They're applying so much pressure in the mid lane right now.
It's all about just stalling the game now for Blacklist International. Like you said, very strong when it comes to the late game, and particularly in objective fights, this Alice could be. And if you combo that up with Kevir on this Alus, the overall team fight of Blacklist International come the late game is actually very scary. Question is, can they reach the late game? Because NXP EVOS, they're now controlling the map. Look at how they have frozen some parts of the map so that Blacklist International had to like really group up together. And this is an inefficient way to get the farm. But at the same time, you're Blacklist International, this is all that you could do.
And now Blacklist International trapped inside their own base. They're trying to get all the resources that they could possibly get as safe as possible. You don't want to get picked off here. NXPE, they could smell blood. And even if it's Edward, they're not shy in pulling the trigger.
Yeah, I mean, they have to learn from game number 2. That was a clear lesson, a hard lesson that you lost the game because of that one decision. So yeah, no, it's amazing to see Blacklist try that trick here, but Nexplay EVOS, they're like, not again, not like this.
Everybody go inside your base. Let Edward push by himself. Let's see if they catch the bait right now.
To be fair, it kind of worked. Look, there's blue in top and mid.
Yeah. And now Demon Hunter Sword was just freshly picked up by Donut. By the way, he completed the Blade of Despair first and then completed the Demon Hunter Sword. So the difference is, with this Demon Hunter Sword, he can tear through the tanky heroes of Blacklist International, particularly this Uranus as well as this Alice eventually. So that's the decision now for NXT EVOS. That's a difference because of their playstyle. Oh, and I dig it. Now the Lord is a
Look, Ube versus Ube. Ube versus Ube. It's 5v5. Haji here in this small...
Immortality advantage for the side of Blacklist, though.
For sure. But look at the firepower from Nexplay
So
EVOS.
quick.
Nope, not going to be going for steal. That's a clean take on Lord 2. 12 minutes in by Nexplay EVOS. And even even Purple might be in jeopardy. And H2. Wow. This is a tactical decision to let it go.
Yep.
Blacklist International, they went for the split push instead. They knew that they couldn't handle that Lord fight, so they just tried to get some turrets out of it, but sadly they did. They were able to push down the bottom lane, but overall, that was NXPE with a clean Lord.
Yeah. Clean take at it. Good positioning coming from NXP EVOS. There was one to spot out where Haji was. That's why they were able to identify which target to go into. And now the Lord is marching bottom lane. When it comes to the wave clear, if you look at Blacklist International, they have plenty. But the only problem I have with their wave clear is that they need to get up close. You see Alice as well as Olus, they need to be in front of the wave so that they can clear it. So that's something that NXP can actually take advantage of.
Pizza with a circling eagle, forcing out the front lines from Blacklist to back off a little, allowing Donut to chip away at this inhibitor turret up top. And again, it's a synchronized push, very well executed by Nexplay EVOS. Bottom lane inhibitor goes down. It's the same story. Renner versus turret. I'm guessing Renner's gonna win.
Yeah, Edward's been tanking the bullets for it too.
Oh, nice knock by Haji. Finds one. Wave the dragon onto H2. Pops the immortality. Holy baptism gets 4 in its radius, and they survive. That's okay. Blacklist clear win. Only the mid lane inhibitor standing. Nexplay EVOS gonna walk away.
Man, this is how powerful the Beatrix is. Not only is she a big sieging hero, but she's also a big teamfight hero the moment she switches up to the Wesker. And NXPE, not only did they were able to secure 2 inhibitor turrets, but they severely wounded a lot of the members from Blacklist International, but this might just be big.
Could be another Ube. There's a suplex onto Edward. Purple here secured by Blacklist. I'm guessing it's gotta have come on to the Alice this time. No, there's another suplex by Renegade. Oh, there's a knockup, and there's the punch. Paquito with the jab like pow, pow, pow. That's 3 down on the side of Blacklist. Haji still surviving. Immortality pop. Make that 4. Double kill for H2.
Just like that.
Mr. Salonga is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. And Kevier is the only one left to defend. He's gonna get taken down. Nexplay EVOS take the series.
Oh my god! I thought we were in for the long run once